Hey, I'm bored, so let's talk about Overwatch. And I know this is a topic that has been talked about a lot, but I do not care. So either you're gonna have to listen to me or just go on to the next video. But let's hold on, right? This will get interesting. First off, because I made this beautiful presentation for it, and truthfully, this video should have come out much longer, but not much longer. This video should have come out much earlier, but due to specific problems, it just got delayed. Maybe I should be just instantly hired by Blizzard right now. But yeah, putting that aside, putting the whole turmoil and the fact that my camera did turn off the first time I recorded this video aside, let's just begin with the basics, okay? Why am I talking about Overwatch? Like, my latest videos have been about League of Legends, but actually, like, we have to go back to my past, right? We have to do the whole flashback story thing, you know, the thing that people normally try to skip. But the thing is, I love video games. I always loved video games. Like, yes, I didn't play them instantly. I used to be a kid that used to go outside. I mean, I was born early enough so that I didn't have my first smartphone until I was in 5th grade. So I did have a long time just playing outside, but I did love video games. And the only video games I was able to play back then, right, were the Wii games, because the Wii games were just very good. And I mean, they were for the family, so obviously parents would then actually let you play them, which, I mean, who would have guessed parents would let you play the Wii games? And apart from the Wii games, there was actually one type of game that I did play, right? And that, technical error, sir. But yeah, that type of game that I used to play back then was PES. Yeah, it wouldn't have been PES if my mom had not given away my PlayStation 2 the moment we got gifted a FIFA game for the PlayStation 2. So yeah, the version you're seeing here for the PlayStation 2 is not actually the version that I had. I had PES 2013 for the Wii. And yeah, the graphics were shit. But that ended up making me play FIFA games for 7 years. Being truly, I don't know. I was a crazy ass football fanatic. I mean, I still like football. I still play football. But I really used to play every single fucking FIFA game. It was crazy. But yeah, there was also a different type of genre that I did like, which I normally only saw on YouTube because, number one, my parents wouldn't allow me to play it, and number two, the number two reason is gonna come soon. So that type of genre that I liked was shooters. I very much liked shooter games. But there was just one problem, because when Fortnite came out, for example, right? Yeah, when it was still not loved by so many 12-year-olds, and when people still found it a cool indie game, I tried playing it on my laptop, on my old laptop, and let me tell you, my laptop did not like that. It definitely did not like that. I had it playing on the lowest graphics possible that you could have had for it to play on. And let's just say the moment I realized I got out of the bus, the round probably had already passed like 30 minutes or so. So yeah, my hardware wasn't really that great. But then at that same time, a specific game came out, right? And that game became my biggest love in gaming, except for another game that I normally make videos about on here. Became like the love of my life, and that game was Overwatch. Yeah, Overwatch, a dream, truly. It was one of my dreams, because I still remember seeing the trailers, and like Mercy, for example, she's a bangin', but like apart from Angela Ziegler and so on, right? I just loved the story. Foreshadowing, because story for me is a big thing in games, right? That's why we're gonna make a small detour, because I love games, like I said, right? But one thing that you have to have for games is skill, and I do not have this skill. My mechanical skill is I don't think I want to really explain what my mechanical skill is, but it's quite bad. It's it's truly quite bad. I don't really have that great mechanical skill at all. Maybe it's also because I didn't really play that many PC games, and I was overall just a console gamer to begin with. But because of that, games wouldn't be fun for me, even if I liked them. If I was shit at them, and I'm somebody who likes to be competitive, it doesn't really get me. So the one thing that did hook me, RIP, not RIP to like anybody, it's to the emote, okay? Because the emote got changed, and it's very sad that emote got changed. I mean, they literally shouldn't even have let it in the game in the first place if they were going to change it like 2 seconds later. But I mean, it's a small indie company. How could they know? Okay, putting that to the side. Story was obviously the thing that then hooked me in games, because I'm just somebody who loves stories, which is also one of the reasons why I started playing League of Legends. No, I didn't play League of Legends because of Arcane. I played League of Legends because of Necrit. And then I got into Arcane, and then I fell into League of Legends even more. So yeah, no, I'm not one of those people that came because of Arcane. But back to Overwatch 2. I mean, Overwatch 2. Even I got faked out by my presentation. I mean, back to Overwatch. I was just too lazy to find another Overwatch badge, but probably I think later on I even use one, so who cares? Obviously, since my PC would catch fire if I even tried to play Overwatch, I had to watch from the sidelines. And I usually did that by watching streamers. And the streamer, the streamer that I normally used to watch, or even watch now, I don't watch him that many times, Flats, is not even on this slide. But I mean, do I care? No, I do not care. But besides streamers, I also obviously watched every single origin story cinematic. For example, Dragons is still one of my favorite. The Kiriko cinematic, which came with Overwatch 2, is now kind of up there, but Dragons, I can quote Dragons just like that. Like, oh, the great dragon brother. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I really love that cinematic, right? And because story just hooks me, like I told you in my detour before, is that I just wanted to play the game. I just wanted to play the game. And the thing is, I even started earning money, a little more money, so I could have bought the hardware to play Overwatch. But here's the catch. I did not want to pay. I did not want to pay to play Overwatch. I didn't. Like, that is quite a stupid thing, but I loved Overwatch like a lot. I never played it, but I knew everything about it. I literally already knew specific rollouts for champions, am I saying? For heroes and other stuff. Like, I literally knew these things that you would normally only know if you played the game, but nope. I knew them, and I still did not want to pay for it. Kind of stupid. But then, like, my prayers were just heard by someone. I really don't know. It was a stroke of luck. A specific game got announced in 2019, and it was suddenly free to play. Overwatch 2, or how I call it, or how I used to call it, my savior. Like, the reveal of Overwatch 2 was so cool, because like, it had this first, it was like PvE plus PvP, and the PvE had like story mode, and that is literally what PvE means, stupid. It had like talent trees and stuff like that. It was kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I'm not really that big on gaming terms when it comes to stuff like that, but more like, it was just this crazy cool shit that I loved to have in gaming, right? And yet again, foreshadowing, story. It also had these 3 characters, right? Sojourn, Drunken Queen, Kiriko. Kiriko, who nowadays, damn, this bitch gets a lot of skins. Would be cool if Venture would also get a skin, but I mean, like, I guess that's gonna happen. Like, I don't even know if my children are gonna see Venture have a skin. But putting that aside, these characters also like looked very cool, looked very fun, and we were very hyped for it until this specific meme blew up. Overwatch 1.5. Yeah. The Overwatch 2 the Overwatch 1.5 meme, or the Overwatch 2 is just an updated version of Overwatch 1 with a little, like, it's just a Overwatch with bigger patch notes. The first reason for that was obviously that the story got delayed. Technically died, but the story got delayed. It did not, like they said, it was not gonna come out on release because they still had to focus on it a little more. Foreshadowing. But putting that aside, another part that was kind of shitty was you used to get every hero for free, just like that. And then suddenly, because they went free to play, they somehow had to get the money in. And because Kiriko was still new and she was not going to get all her 50 skins she has now, they had to put her plus all of the other like later on characters behind the battle pass, which in some scenarios, just like release Kiriko, was literal pay to win. But I guess. And another part that I really didn't have that much to do with, because as a ex-FIFA player, I never played Ultimate Team, by the way. I never played Ultimate Team, except for maybe like one game, but I was an offline player, okay? So I'm not one of those, I'm not one of those whales. My pockets ain't built. my pockets ain't got nothing. But yeah, coming from FIFA, I didn't really care or didn't like loot boxes to begin with, but obviously loot boxes were removed as well, so people just didn't really like it. And even the changes that were gonna come, like even the new game mode, people weren't that stoked after just hearing so many things leave or be changed for the worse. But they were like, you know what, let's just give it a chance. And I myself was like, yeah, let's just give it a chance, because finally I was going to be able to play Overwatch. Like, I had literally waited, 2016 to 2020, when did it come out again? 2021? 2020? I don't actually remember. Like 2021, 2020, when, well, who cares? When Overwatch 2 came out, okay? I downloaded it. First thing in the morning, I downloaded that game because I wanted to finally play it. And that actually made me realize I wasn't that shit. But so, before I even waste more time just talking about how happy I was when the game came out, let's go on and move on to the game itself, which, yeah, that badge, by the way, is so scuffed. I probably should have drawn it again, but do I care? No, because that's literally the care they put into the fucking game. Okay, first off, the thing that I was wondering about was, was I one of the only people who really still cared about the story? Like, they said it was gonna get released later, but we were like, okay, when is it coming though? Pause. But like, when is it gonna be there? Like, when is the story that was actually the main selling point of Overwatch 2, which got memed into Overwatch 1.5, where is all that story gone? Yeah, I think we were trying to just tell ourselves that everything was fine, and that was not like a red flag of things to come. But I kept playing the game. I liked it. I loved it for the first 2-3 seasons. But the cracks showed, okay? The cracks showed when the first story type stuff came out, and it wasn't really that impressive, and a lot of things were iffy, and people were like, okay, where's the actual separate PvE mode, the one that you would probably have to pay $40 for to earn, you know, your Overwatch Baldur's Gate, I don't know, where is that game mode? Or where's just the balance itself also wasn't really that great, so people were like, what's happening? And then the cracks became bigger, and they ended up showing their ugly face. Kaplan left. Story got announced that it was dead and that they knew ages ago. Different people left, different bullshit happened, layoffs, but the layoff thing wasn't the whole gaming industry. But the one thing I'm just trying to say here is that, yeah, the house burnt down, okay? Our little world of, no, everything is fine, everything is good, there's nothing wrong happening at all with this game. Yeah, all of that just fell apart, and that for me also just fell apart, because first off, I was like, okay, I'm playing one game of comp, let's go. Playing 2 games of comp. Bro, I was depressed. I was literally depressed by this game so hard that I couldn't even pick it up. Every single time I clicked on play, by the way, I'm a support player, just so you know. Like, even every time I clicked on play, my mood just went worse. That's not supposed to happen when you play a game. Like, I literally thought about going back to Paladins. And now if you're like, why is he even speaking that name? I thought about going back to Paladins, like some streamers even thought about trying out Paladins once in a while, because that was the game that I started playing as preparation for Overwatch 2, like as something to hold me over until the famed Overwatch 2 plus story would finally come out and everybody would rejoice and everything would be so fucking great. Yeah, and another game that I patched up my time with was League of Legends, right? You know, the one game that I now have to accept has taken a spot for Overwatch. Like, truly, that is just what it is. League of Legends is now the #1 in my life when it comes to gaming. And Overwatch can go suck my... Okay, I'm joking. I'm just joking. But no, that's really just how I felt back then. But that is just what the whole story bullshit did. And obviously, after some time, you just had to let it go. And that actually helped because then Season 14, I believe. No, not Season 14. Season 14 is when apparently Venture is supposed to get a skin. I mean, Season 12 happened, okay? And Juno happened. So Overwatch 2, New Frontier, Season 12, with a banging ass Reaper skin, Juno coming in, and there just being some cool ass stuff was one of the reasons why I actually came back to Overwatch. And I have to say, even though apparently Season 13 is supposed to be crazy shit, or not crazy shit, but just crazy filler, I am just stoked for Season 14, because one, Venture is supposed to get a skin, and on top of that, I don't know, like, as somebody who just loves lore and just loves the Overwatch universe, I can never just stop geeking out about it. Like, just thinking about every single time there's a new hero, like Freak, like I know his name is not Freak, but like the tank that's gonna come out, like, I just can't stop thinking about it. It's just a thing where I just fixate on these story beats, on this story stuff, and the universe that I just followed all my, like, not all my life, but like almost all my PC gaming life. No, literally all my PC gaming life. It's just one thing that I have to say is that no matter what happens to the game, okay, and no matter how many times they might have flaw holds and might mess up ages, for me, one of Overwatch's biggest parts is still the story. And if anybody wants to save Overwatch, just invest in the story. Make something like Arcane. But please don't try to make it as serious as Arcane, because that's not what Overwatch is. Just have I don't know, a series made by Pixar or something like that, and trust me, that would make bank. So that's why I'm still surprised. Why Blizzard? Why were you? Because Blizzard got pitched a TV show for Overwatch, and they didn't do it. Why? Oh well, before I even go further into the thing, TLDR, what I mean is Overwatch was my dream game. I started playing it, it was shit, but the story is still banging, and I still have hope for it, and I still think that it's one of the best games that I could have ever played, or one of the best games you could ever play. So, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you, we'll see you. I'll see you next time when you come over to my channel. So, bye.